Good morning. It's Monday, January 29th, and that means two things. I'm dealing with the first sinus cold I've had in 4 years, so you're not going to bug me about how froggy I sound, and I'm not going to cough directly into the mic and blow out your headphones. Okay? Okay. This lighting industry news brief is brought to you by Keystone Tech and their XFit area lights. And the XFit line, you know what they have? The XFit line is all about having everything in one box. Your photocell, your mounting options. And now, with the optic swap, you've got 3 lenses that you can switch without tools on the spot. That's right, on the spot, so that you don't have to deal with this. You still get your color selection with a switch, your power selection with a switch, and your easily replaceable Keystone driver to match. That's KeystoneTech.com. Get your deck, get your box, get it from the link in the description, if you please. Signify will be cutting 1,000 jobs over the year. 500 of these will be from the Dutch offices. They're still raking in profits, but not as much profits as before, and this is their solution. Renesas will be buying Transform. They paid $5 a share for the semiconductor company. MH will be buying Resource Lighting. No details on price in that case, but Resource Lighting will now do business as Resource Lighting, comma, an MH company. Panasonic has offered grants to nonprofits. 4 grants for STEAM education will be presented with the assistance of the CFNJ. And the Oscar goes to Nichia. This is a Science and Tech Award for their new laser-based projection diodes. The Oscars hand out their Science and Tech Awards early because they don't have to televise them because it's not super dramatic on TV. Cree LED has entered a license agreement with Current, which will end with 6 pieces of LED patents being shared. OLED Works is on the road with new Audi tail lights. Audi was the first company to adopt LED headlights, just so you know. Acuity has been recognized as a sustainable tech provider, with the Atrius brand earning props from CPE and CRE Tech magazines. Acuity is also announcing a dividend and stock buyback. 15 cents per share will be issued on the 14th of February, and 3 million shares of common stock will be going back to the company. IKEA is cutting prices across more or less the entire company, 800 SKUs. That includes lamps and lighting options. Orion Energy Systems has predicted a strong Q3 and full year 24. Their estimates are very optimistic. And while we're talking about Orion, I should note that their share price has been over $1 since the 11th of January, which puts them clear of that NASDAQ warning. LSI will be issuing a dividend. Net incomes are up. Shareholders will expect a nickel a share on the 13th. We have 3-week delays for CN Rail. The issues in the Suez are starting to reverberate out, so vessels that had been planned to hit Halifax will now be landing in BC, which will be slowing down the whole process for Canadian shipping. There you go. Richards Electric is opening a new location in Elizabeth, Kentucky. FW Webb is moving to a bigger, better location in South Boston. Edison Report has named their new Lifetime Achievement Awards winners. This is, I think, the 9th time they've done this, but 12 luminaries will get their laurels at a party on the 18th of March. I think they lost my invite. I think. Oh, well. Texplast has raised $500,000 in venture funds. They recycle polymer, specifically related to a number of fields, but including lighting, and they've gotten this from Faster Capital. SLL, the Society of Light and Lighting, has named finalists for their Young Lighter program. The winners will be named at Light 23. Pacific Coast has a new website with better functionality on the B2B side. And Minka has secured the license to the name and designs of Michael McHale. In legal news, we have Maya Kirk of Chicago receiving $2 million in a settlement from the city because a rusty lamppost fell on her. She did fine, but, obviously, injuries, lost work, other things. $2 million. Check your poles for rust is the lesson here. And Soft Lights, a foundation, has launched a lawsuit against the FDA, alleging that LEDs are not sufficiently regulated under radiation safety rules. In rep agency updates, GB will be repping for RAB in Manitoba and Kenora, Ontario. Lighting Systems will be repping Interlux in NorCal, Fresno, Nevada, and Columbus, Ohio through their Columbus office. SDA Lighting and Controls has partnered with HTA Lighting in New Jersey. Amico still seeks reps, and Repco 2 has dropped Signify for Current. In events news, the LIA and Recolight are hosting a new event, the Net Zero Lighting Conference, May 2nd in London in the UK. We have a new webinar coming up today. You can still sign up with updates with the UL. In IoT news, the Dolly Lighting Award winners have been named. Guidehouse Insights has recognized Lutron and Signify as leaders in control manufacture. Older adults are adopting more tech in their personal lives, with the AARP finding more seniors, about 25% now, are opting for smart home options. And the WBA has tested Wi-Fi Halo. This is a new IoT protocol. In R&D, Nichia is announcing a softer chip. This is a small-scale chip with better light distribution. Might be good for outdoors, might be good for indoors. Who knows where it ends up? And Highlight claims that they have a 100% dimmable LED lamp, and it's just waiting for DLC certification. AIMS, the Australian Institute of Marine Sciences, is using satellites to take aim at threats to marine life, tracking all sorts of things, including light pollution, off the coast of Australia. The IUCN is presenting a guide to preserving darkness to the EU, and we'll see where that goes. Male mice have a reduced sense of cold when their circadian rhythms are disrupted. That's right, they don't feel the pain of cold to the same degree as female mice do, even if their circadian rhythms are disrupted, which, given that these sort of effects do travel all the way up to larger mammals, this explains a lot about my life. The UK government is going to investigate headlight brightness. Akaso is boosting night vision goggles with generative modeling, which might limit the need for lighting in some situations. Aspen, Colorado aims to punish light trespass with new bylaws. Newcastle, Delaware will be blocking a warehouse project on the grounds of light and noise pollution. The LDS has motioned to join the Wasatch residents' suit against the Haber Valley Planning and Zoning Board over procedural issues related to a proposed temple, which would mean that the entire LDS church would be co-defendant in this case. There you go. Marine City, Michigan is revising cannabis grow-op lighting rules. Brighton, UK residents are seeking changes to Amex Stadium lighting outdoors. Wales is planning a new dark sky week, coming up soon. San Antonio, Texas is considering a sign district, allowing for illuminated signs and digital signage as well. Musa Huon, a Finnish black metal lo-fi band, has dropped an entire album on the theme of light pollution. And we have an anecdote from David Duchovny, who insists that he avoids all electric light. I don't know why, but the truth is out there. Or maybe he wrote it in his Red Shoe Diaries. Or I never saw Californication. You write your own joke for that one. Leave it in the comments. In horticultural news, Scott's Miracle Grow is issuing a dividend of 66 cents per share on the 23rd. Cheers has partnered with Solum. This is a new lighting program for cannabis grow rooms in Quebec. Delphi is testing spectra on peppers. This is a Dutch greenhouse study on capsicums. And light intensity grows better lettuce, according to the Zhejiang Academy of Agricultural Sciences. In recommended reading, all of these on nailed.org and more, you can find out what's going on with Section 179D, a decade of the DLC, what retrofits can do for CO2, a company called Poplight popped up on Shark Tank, or as we call it in Canada, Dragon's Den. Reviewing the cheapest floodlight on the internet, we have the new architecture wars, The Washington Wire returns at the NAED website. You can simplify your NLCs. You can find out what's up with Wi-Fi 7. We have a case study of renovations at MSU, or a case study of lighting at the Cheech Marin Arts Center. In local news, Wilmington, Vermont is host to a new indoor farm. We have new retrofits planned for Warren Woods, Michigan Public Schools. BC is doubling utility rebates. Auburn, California's cross-country ski trails add new lighting. LA, California is planning new lighting as property crimes trend upward, while also launching a copper theft task force, as one of those property crimes is people stealing the copper out of lighting. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania's Boathouse Row tests new lighting. First time in 2 years, actually. They've been updating it. They're also continuing a lot of other lighting work, with 130,000 street lamps switching out for LED. The New York City's mayor's office has feuds with the actual office manager over light switches in the press room. We have Richland, Washington, beginning new incentive work. Hopkinsville, Kentucky, is going to be swapping out their failed acuity phosphors. You know, those ones that turn blue. Baton Rouge, Louisiana, has announced a new street lighting project. We have new grants for community centers in Winnipeg, Manitoba. New grants for grocery stores across Illinois. Delaware County has received $400,000 in funds to improve parks, and Greenville-Spartanburg Airport delayed all activities for 1 hour over a lighting issue. So that's 5 flights. Not so bad, really. 1 hour, that seems fair. In international news, residents of Caerphilly, Wales want their street lighting back on at night. A windowless office in Kazakhstan is experimenting with human-centric lighting. Moscow is testing out new traffic signals. Pakistan is rolling out their own version of LED programs, and Kenya is showing off their new solar street lighting. They don't look half bad. And people news, Luana Kurtzman and Vivian Okonski are joining Louis Group as associates. Linda Conesho has been promoted to the regional sales manager at Ledvance Canada. Beluche in Canada has promoted 2 on their sales team. Tim Hopper is now the Western Regional Sales Manager at Light Efficient Design. Tammy Miller, late of Border States, might just run for governor of North Dakota. Jennifer Polkinghome has been picked as Director of Marketing at Hinckley, and Jerry Drummond is set to retire. And things you can make, you can have rewritable tattoos with the power of UV lighting. We have LED lights for your Star Trek models, that old potato trick, and kites to generate electricity, lightning storms not required. And over in the debunking zone, going around on Instagram right now, there's this thing where they're bringing up a study from last year that shows that hydrogenation, a process where you split water into its component atoms, hydrogen, oxygen. It's a big deal for space travel and fuel cells and whatnot. LEDs disrupt that process. They make it harder. That's in the lab when you're trying to make rocket fuel. There's no evidence that this happens inside your body. Again, Instagram is not a doctor. They are not a scientist. No, don't read everything. Don't believe everything you read on the internet. That's what Abe Lincoln told me once. Anyway, I've been Scott Walker. Thank you for your time. Enjoy your week. Enjoy the music. See ya.
You seem so lonely, but I can't break through. So I'll just wait here till you tell me what to do. An aching heart wasn't meant to beat alone. So we'll sit right here and we'll call it home. And we don't have 4 walls, but we've got hours on the clock. We don't know all the answers, but we know enough. And though life isn't fair, I'll give you what I've got, and then we can call this home. I know you're sad, but you can't find the words. I'll hold your hand if you want me. crying eyes shouldn't have to roam. So we'll sit right here and we'll call it home. And we don't have four walls, but we've got hours on the clock. We don't know all the answers, but we know enough. Although life isn't fair, I'll give you what I've got, and then we can call this home. We don't have four walls, but we've got hours on the clock. We don't know all the answers, but we know enough. And though life isn't fair, I'll give you what I've got, and then we can call this home. And then we can call